All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Mr. Deadman channel here, Deadman Experience. So, Ruby Spacek is a character I talk about quite a bit. Not just a character, but a human being, okay? She's a side character of the Gray Storm stuff. She popped on the scene for me because of them. So, long story short, she's had a, let's say, a romantic relationship. I guess you call that maybe a fling, if you will, with this person named ddog. ddog is a psychotic weird guy. Like, and I'm not saying that just to like say it to be mean, but like he's a dude who has no job, lives with his mom, and he believes that blankets can talk to him. He believes he can use like telepathy to communicate with people. He doesn't worship God. He worships the creator of the outer realm, or whatever he calls it, some crazy thing. He's an interesting guy to watch as like a case study, but he has a track record for cyber stalking. And it just so happens that in this story that I'm telling you here, he was stalking Ruby Spacek some more. So you understand they had a relationship, but they had recently, broken up. And Ruby has ceased communication with him, has blocked him, and even though he's blocked, he will continue to call Ruby Spacek with all the time with various numbers, right? Bombarding her phone. So no matter what she does, no matter how she tries to distance herself from him, he will always try to find a way to get in contact, like a creeper that he is. That is deranged stuff there, okay? That is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy, right? Exactly. So today she does a stream talking about how, she was sent a package. There was a package that she received from ddog, of all people. So, she wants nothing to do with this guy. She blocked the guy. She's trying to distance herself from him. And let me just say this for the report. I try to be fair here. I hope to God Ruby is being honest here and is really, really sending a clear message of, hey, guy, crazy guy, no communication, no comunicado, no bueno, right? Comunicado, no bueno, okay? Because like whatever you do, if you have a stalker, you do not want to engage with them, right? You don't want to give them any communication, not even a hello, not even a stop talking to me. You give them the stop talking to me, and then you don't say anything ever, and they send stuff your way. You will log it. You keep track of it for evidence, but you do not engage, right? I think anyone with a reasonable mind, reasonable brain, can understand that. So let me just go ahead and say I hope Ruby's being honest here on that, and I hope that because I don't want to be made a fool here if I'm going to take her side. So, but here in this situation, I know Ruby Spacek is going to report the situation to the police, report the occurrence to the police, which is something she should do. Because if she received a package from a stalker who won't leave her alone, you should report that to the police. Absolutely. So I hope she does follow through with that. Now, I will say, I think it's ridiculous that these people are like engaging in this like forced IRL content. And that's what's happening here. Like, there's people behind this ddog thing. Like, rumors have it. Rumors? Oh, no, I know. Jeremy and OPC Don are behind this whole thing. So OPC Don, from what I understand, funded it. Jeremy encouraged it because Jeremy doesn't have any money. So, it's like these people will help ddog actually mess with her in real life. And ddog will actually do it. ddog will actually do it. I think in the past I was communicating with her other stalker, Matt, who it has serious delusions, level 5, level 10 level delusions with Ruby. Matt is this guy who thinks he saw Ruby in a dream from God. That is a vision from God to get with Ruby. Kind of like Blues Brothers, the movie Blues Brothers. There was a message from God that Ruby is supposed to be his wife. Now, from what I understand, more or less, he's never really left Canada and is essentially harmless, though he is crazy. And I will say he's crazy. Though I do think he's a liar. And I say that because I had spoken with him. And one time he claimed to be on like these pain pills while drinking vodka and all this stuff at the same time. Yet he was forming sentences coherently as if he was sober. And I was just calling him a flat out liar. I was like, dude, no, you're not doing that. You can't ever do that. This isn't real stuff. You're farming for empathy right here, or sympathy. That's what you're doing. And I did call him out about how like he has this crazy delusion about Ruby, and he has never really tried to meet her and never will, because like he just won't. He just won't. I think he's a coward. So I was just calling him out on that. And it's time for him to just give it up. Just give it up altogether. Okay, find some other, get some other message from God. How about you call God on speed dial? I can help you. You just go like this, okay? You go, dear God, and you ask him for another vision. Okay, so there's that. Anyway, but man, these people who are like encouraging ddog to go to this great lengths to like send Ruby packages in the mail is absolutely ridiculous to me. So like, now here's the thing. Is it content? Well, yeah, it did create content. There is that. And in this section of Boit, bottom of YouTube, whatever, the content comes from real life pain, if you will, real life moments. Like that is what the chat or the audience of this sector really like to see. People engaging in real life situations, usually forced upon. You know, they just want to see that, to kind of spectate, people watch and all that stuff. I understand. That's why I host this. That's why I do this, right? That's why I cover it. So I would say that's pretty bad. And shame on Jeremy and OPC Don for doing that shit. Like, honestly, if assuming that Ruby's being honest here and actually filed some sort of police report, I hope they're able to trace it back to OPC Don and get him busted, because this shit's retarded. Okay, this stuff shouldn't happen. But I feel like I'm preaching to an audience that wants it to happen regardless, right? Because a lot of the chat in this audience want that to happen. They want the real life stuff to happen until it happens to them or anything, you know, someone they know. So, and I would say, I know Ruby and I had our differences. You know, I cover her. I think it's fun to cover her. She's an interesting person. I'm still going to do that. You know, laughing at some things she says, things she does. That's one thing. But like trying to interact with her in real life, like force upon, and what ddog is doing, clearly not ceasing just from stalking her. Like that is beyond the pale for me. That is like obscene. Like I don't understand like why we're going there. But like I said, I think it's what the audience wants. Like when Jeremy and OPC Don were in communication with ddog to get this thing happening, it was just about creating content for them. That's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. So I have to ask, I mean, if OPC Don's cool with that, is he cool with it happening to him? Just someone just sending packages to him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. It's wild, right? Or what about Jeremy? Jeremy wouldn't care. Jeremy would turn into content. He would be happy he received a package. Be like, ooh, someone thought about me today. Someone actually paid the postage for me to actually receive a package. Wow. Or someone like Ruby who's just, you know, trying to live her life, trying to get by, you know. That's a little too far. Now, one more thing I'll say. I know some of my audience doesn't really care for Ruby and probably thinks I'm going Team Ruby here. No, I mean, she's on the right here because clearly ddog's in the wrong, obviously. And the people encouraging him are in the wrong, obviously, right? I mean, and he actually did it. So, yeah, that's messed up. So, yeah, I mean, whatever real life consequence happens to the two numbskulls that were involved, well, they deserve the consequences because they rolled the dice on that one, right? Yeah. And like I said, I will say one more thing about this. I hope that she's being honest, that she is actually treating this seriously and not engaging in communication. Because like I said, I don't want to be made a fool here in this situation. If so, I will viciously, verbally attack Ruby if that were to happen. It would be a lashing that you guys have not seen. So anyway, with that said, you guys let me know what you thought about this scenario. Do you think ddog was in the wrong? Do you think ddog was in the right? I don't know who would say that, but the person who says that would probably be like, wanting it to happen anyway. Anyway, is Ruby in the right? Is ddog in the right? Do you think ddog is not ddog, but do you think Ruby is telling the truth here? Some people are wondering if this is all scripted. You don't have to script things with crazy. Okay, you don't have to script things with people. Like, people will react to things the way they do if certain things happen. Okay, you don't have to script that. Okay. Anyway, with that said, you guys take it easy and have a good one.